Broadcasting from the KMF Collective Studio, it's time for the Athletes of the Titan Games podcast. This limited release show features the stories of the 2020 contestants of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's athletic competition, NBC's The Titan Games. Now, here's your host, Katie Galley.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 2 of the Athletes of the Titan Games podcast. I'm your host, Katie Galley. In the KMF Collective Studio with me today, I have Titan Games athlete, DJ entertainer, and fitness coach, Kareem Brinson. How are you doing, Kareem?
I'm doing fantastic. How's it going over there?
It is going great over here. Thank you so much for stopping by and sharing your story with us today.
I appreciate you having me today.
Absolutely, Kareem. So, Kareem, just to kind of get to know you a little bit, get the ball rolling, I wonder, where did you grow up and how, if at all, was your childhood shaped by athletics?
So I grew up in the Jersey Shore. My hometown is Neptune, New Jersey. So we are a beach town.
Yeah.
It's a very high. It's a sports town for sure. It's a sports area. So everyone's either involved in your football, your basketball, especially Neptune. We are well known throughout the state for football and basketball. So those two, kind of shaped, the people who I grew up with. They were all involved in sports heavy. I myself had to, try to get involved in sports, but it wasn't so much my thing growing up. But, I still stayed active with it. Did participate in recreational sports in basketball and football. Played a little bit in high school, but I wasn't the greatest athlete. I'll admit I wasn't the greatest athlete. I wasn't the people that, people were running to see. But I did okay. Okay.
I gotcha. Yeah. And so, staying active your whole life, kind of having it, and of course, shaping for later when you become a fitness coach. But then for you, Kareem, were there different activities or anything that really kind of took shape? At a young age, did you really have this passion or desire to get into music, to get into entertainment like you do now?
So my passion for music and everything kind of started when I was in high school. So high school was when I kind of cultivated that whole DJing entertainment aspect, as in I used to, was always thrilled to be around music. My mother, she was a big part of it because she had collections of music, different styles of music. And I was always admiring, the music that she used to play in the house, at parties, little family parties. So I always admired at what she did because I see that music brought people together. And that was something that I wanted to do. So when I got to high school, I was able to kind of do that with my friends. So I used to make little mixtapes for my friends and pass them out in school. And that became a real big hit. And I actually became just a DJ just off that because everybody knew me in high school just as the guy who made the CDs and passed them out. But so, and I grew up in the CD era of things. So, everyone used to have to make those custom CDs for everyone. That was me. So that's kind of how I cultivated that DJ name, because DJ was oh, he makes his own CDs and he passes them out to everybody. So that was kind of the start of DJ Reem in the sense of high school. And it was a fun time. It was definitely a fun time. And it shaped me to where I wanted to go with the entertainment field today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you can reflect back on high school and know that is where it started. And of course, being influenced by your mom. And like you said, I love what you said about music bringing people together. And so that's kind of that driving force and having that love and desire on your heart. And so, Kareem, from there, when you started in high school, handing out those personalized CDs and really figuring out that you had a knack for this, how did that kind of set you then on the trajectory to where you are today in this entertainment space?
So, dealing with, so what it helped me to do, it helped me understand that, bringing people together under music was something that I wanted to provide for everyone. So I eventually started throwing little parties here and there. So it started with just house parties. And of course, my house was the first house that I experimented with, with my first DJing gigs. And, my mother, I love her. She was very helpful with me having those house parties. They were monitored, of course. She was there. And she made sure that she made sure that nothing went off. Didn't go too crazy and too left. But she allowed me to have the house party. So super appreciative of that. And then from there, I just kind of grew with that passion. I took that passion with me, that DJ passion, down to college, Morgan State, which is located down in Baltimore, Maryland. And then from there, I kind of just grew. So I still did the whole create the CDs, pass them out to people. And that created a little buzz and a little name for myself on the college campus. And then eventually started just doing house parties down in school. And then next thing you know, I'm in these nightclubs, I'm in the campus parties, I'm on all sorts of flyers as DJ Reem, and it just blew me up. Like that really helped blow the name and blow my brand DJ Reem up and got me out to the masses. And it was an incredible ride. My college years, one of the most fantastic times of my life. And like I owe a lot of my success to where I'm at now due to my college life.
Wow. I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, again, being able to look back and two, though, you had to walk through those doors of opportunity. So create them for yourself and really lean into this passion that you had discovered. And so, Kareem, from there, I mean, really kind of hitting your stride in college and, like you said, going into it and starting to then perform in nightclubs, has becoming a DJ, being a DJ entertainer, has it become your full-time career?
Yes. So
That's awesome.
I have been blessed to, make such a big name and big living off of DJing that I was able to make it a career. It came with, a lot of concern, especially from my family side, because, they're not one to know, like, they don't know DJs who were able to successfully make a career out of, being a DJ, being an entertainer.
Right.
And, it was something that I was truly passionate about. I remember quitting my job that I had at the time. And I was like, hey, and I told my mother, I was like, hey, Mom, listen, I'm super passionate about this. I believe that I can really do this a full time and really make a living and career out of it. And, she had her doubts, we joke about this all the time, but she had her doubts at first, but what mother wouldn't? They just want the best for their child. So, but I was on a mission. I was super, super focused, and very hungry to succeed. So, I think that was 2007, I believe, 2007. Right around when I finished school, I was like, hey, listen, I'm going full time with this, and we're going to make a move for DJing. And I got out into out there, was really still making noise and a lot in the clubs, Baltimore area. I also was able to expand out into the DC area at the time too. I was able to kind of come back to New Jersey and still make a solid living off DJing and still get my name out there in so many different events. So, I was working close to 5 nights a week in a DJ space.
Wow.
So and it was bringing home good, decent change. Yeah. So it was like, hey, Mom, a couple years in, I'd say, hey, Mom, look at me. Like, this is a career. And she realized that it was a career when she started seeing my name on so many different events and big events too. Like I was doing concerts with thousands of people, and then it would be the next day I could do a family function event, but then turn around do an event for the governor. So it was like when my mother started to see that, she was like, oh wow, like my son is really good at what he does, and he's really making this a career and a living.
Yeah.
And I look back and just been moving forward with the DJing business.
Mm-hmm. I love that. There's like the truth in the hustle and the grind. And you, of course, had that love and that passion, and you had enough courage to say, no, I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to make this my full-time career because I want to. And so you just figured out how you were going to do that. And then that's exactly what you did. And so, Kareem, in that time when you were deciding back in 2007 to make that shift and go all in with DJing and figure it out for yourself, were there ever times where you were afraid or maybe think, man, I want to go back to getting a full-time job? Or I guess, how did you overcome those obstacles of just fear and pushing past those to pursue this dream of yours?
You know what? I had strong people in my corner, and that's kind of what helped me. And then when there were times where I kind of doubted, everything wasn't just up and up. There was some up and downs, along the way.
Of
so
course.
Definitely there was some bumps and stuff that I, experienced. And there were times where I just am I really doing this? Am I really getting, off onto the right foot? Am I really going to be able to do this? And I had people in my corner that really supported me and said, hey, Reem, just stay focused, stay grounded, and you could do this. You could do this. You've gotten so far. You got so much notoriety, by doing what you're doing. We can help you. There's people who help me. I like to, pay tribute to my wife. She to my wife now. At the time, she was just my girlfriend, but she, rode with me. She rode with me the entire way. She was actually the one I had that initial conversation of, me quitting my job, and she was like, "Let's do it, go for it." And I had her support, and she's been my big supporter. So honestly, without her help, like I probably wouldn't be as successful where I'm at with it today. She kept me level headed, she kept me grounded, she kept me motivated, and just kept me going. So there was not a chance that I would say, all right, I'm going to quit. I'm not going to do this anymore. She's like, hey, you can do this. Keep pushing, keep pushing.
I love that. And I think that's the key, like you said, it's having those people in your corner who on the days that maybe you doubt yourself or question yourself, they're going to be the ones to remind you, no, I'm in this with you. You can do this, and just to rally behind you. And that's because it's on the days that maybe you're just struggling to remember your why. They're there to help you remember.
Exactly. And there was days where I definitely didn't remember the why. I was just like, oh, why am I doing this? I questioned that.
Yeah.
But she was there to remind me like, hey, listen, you're doing this because this is why.
Absolutely.
So she plays a part in that.
I love
for sure.
that. I love that. And so Kareem, as you're pursuing this incredible DJ career and making it into everything that you've created it to be, how did becoming a fitness coach kind of work into this, or was becoming a fitness coach something that happened later?
So fitness coach kind of happened later on, because what happened is that as I was doing a lot of these DJ events, my health wasn't in the greatest shape. So what come with DJing, you're out in these clubs and these nightclubs and events, you're out till about 3-4 in the morning. And you're enjoying life, you're playing the music, but you're also eating, drinking. You're not doing the best, health wise decisions, making the best health wise decisions. So, that eventually caught up to me. When I turned 28, that kind of that's when I hit a wall with everything. And I was just like, the way I'm living, I kind of blossom up to 300 pounds, close to 300 pounds, and not really paying attention to my health again. I was just too busy with the music side, hustling and moving around so much that I wasn't paying attention to the health.
Yeah. So
that got me to a place with my health where it was kind of getting a little scary, and I needed to change that. So that when my 28th birthday, I said is my turning point. Is that I threw this party, big birthday party in New Jersey, and the next day, I remember seeing a picture of myself, like, just so out of shape and just not healthy, not with the life, and it's not the Kareem that I knew. So I was like, I had to get it together. So with that started my whole weight loss journey. So, so I got on that journey, and, it was hard. It was one that, I also had doubts, but without my wife in my corner, it probably wouldn't be possible. But I was able to kind of lose, get on the journey. It took me about a year and some change, but I was able to kind of really get the health kick going on, and trying to transform myself.
And I mean, I think that's amazing too. You had that own awakening within yourself, realizing, wow, I want to make a shift and return to being healthy. And of course, still continuing to pursue this passion, but from not letting yourself fall by the wayside in that pursuit. And so Kareem, from there, so obviously, it took hold of your life. You said over the next year, you really went after this weight loss journey. And so on the back end of it or during it, did something happen along the way where others were reaching out to you, asking how you were doing it or asking for insight, and that's how you became a coach? Or how did that kind of come about?
Yeah. So So as I was in my journey, I'm still in the public eye because I'm still doing all these, that DJ Reem is still so busy, still moving around. So he's still able to kind of be around different people and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So I was going through this weight loss journey, and people were noticing it from when I'm showing up to their gigs and events. It's like, oh, wow, Reem, you look different. You look good. Yada, yada. What's your secret? What are you doing? So I was able to kind of give them some insight there, from my perspective, from the experience of just what I was doing and trying to help them out. And some people did take the advice, and they were doing what they can do and get on their journey as well, which was awesome. And I actually had I had a connection with some of the people that were doing that. I was like, wow, they're on their weight loss journey because of me, and I'm helping them. And that kind of resonated with me a lot. And while I wasn't the most knowledgeable at the time because I was just going through it myself, so I still didn't have all the knowledge and experience under the belt. I eventually went to a CrossFit gym, in 2000. I want to say, I don't know what that was, 12, 11, somewhere around there. And I took my first class and I became a member there. And then eventually, years later, I was able to kind of grab my coaching wings, because again, teaching people and getting people to live a healthier lifestyle was something that I had started to resonate with a lot. So I wanted to really help people. So I was able to get my coaching wings and certification to start coaching at that gym, at my gym. So from there, I began coaching, and I've had the best ride doing it. Like, just the amount of people that I was able to reach to help out. And when people tell me that, oh, they've overcome this, the biggest thing is when I hear people overcome certain like preset diseases that they are, notion to because of their health. And they say, hey, I was able to kind of kick it and get off these medications. It just warms my heart so much to hear those type of stories. And it just sits with me. So I have a passion of just helping people.
Yeah. And I mean, that's amazing too. And it's cool to think about the kind of the reflection of being a DJ. And like you said, you could perform in front of thousands of people, and you're touching those people with the music. Like you said, music brings people together. And then now too, on the flip side, as a coach, you get to touch just as many people, but also on a more individualized and personal way, because you get to work with them directly, one-on-one or in small groups. And so I love that. Like you said, I mean, you love helping people and inspiring people and encouraging them. And the idea that you got to do that on a large scale and now also in a more personal setting, it's really cool.
Yeah, it's such almost like a 360 effect, because it, like, by day I can help your health, make sure that you are moving healthy and just living a healthier lifestyle, and then by night I can entertain you. I can keep you moving on the dance floor and just take all your stress away and just have some fun. I think both people need both sides, both little balance there. Just some party side and then healthy side, and I could bring that full 360 here. I love that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so, Kareem, I mean, on this incredible journey that you've been on, how did it ultimately lead you to now where you are becoming a contestant on the Titan Games?
Oh man, you know what? To this day, it's just like, how did I come across this opportunity?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Honestly, yeah, it's just like I've honestly just been just doing what I normally do, just as a DJ, as a health enthusiast, and just helping people, wellness coach. I just kind of been just doing that, and one of the casting producers happened to reach out via Instagram, and at first it was just like, oh, I thought it was just some spam. I was like,
right.
No way. I was like, when you see somebody say, hey, are you interested in Titan Game? I'm like, oh, get out of here. Like, and I left that, no lie, I left that message on red for like 3 days. And I was just like, it's not real. It's not real. And then like, I just, I was just like, well, what if it isn't? And I was like, you know what? Let me reach out. Let me reach back and see what's what. Let me just try it out. Yeah. And lo and behold, it was the real deal. It was the real deal.
Wow.
So yeah, it was cool. It was like a opportunity that honestly I didn't expect, and I was able to kind of just like capitalize on it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
And I mean, I definitely understand. I would think it was spam too if I got a direct message. Because obviously it turned out to be far more than that. It was definitely not spam. And it led to this incredible opportunity. And so, Kareem, I always think this is kind of a fun question. Just because obviously The Rock created this show, and he's such a cool person, an incredible human being. And so for you, do you remember maybe the first time you became aware of The Rock, either growing up, watching wrestling, or whatever it was, the first time you became aware of him, and why or how he inspired you?
Oh, well, I was a big wrestling fan, so I was a big wrestling fanatic. So I remember his debut wrestling match was at it was one of the wrestling matches. I think that had to be 97. Survivor Series. That's exactly what it was. Survivor Series. And he was the young guy, rookie, in the match, and it was like a team of 4, and I remember watching him compete, and he came out there with just a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm, and it was something that was really refreshing. And I was like, he's a guy to watch. He's a guy to watch for sure. And then as I watched his whole wrestling career, on WWE, like I was a big fan of his. I was one of the I grew up in the Attitude Era. That's what they call, him and Stone Cold Steve Austin and all of that. Like they had the Attitude Era, which was like the golden era of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So I always was a fan of his. I followed him from then, and then like when he transcended into movies, it created a real bigger name for him. And I just kind of watched him how he started just to really hustle, and it reminded me like how him hustling, like going from movie to movie and doing all these big movies with Fast and Furious and jumping into like the kids movies and then these other action movies. Like I watched, like I thought it was like he had a great hustle.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminded me of how I was hustling, how I was moving around and just like super busy, super occupied, but still like, trying to build the brand and build the name. And like I felt like my drive and his drive was so parallel. And like he's a big inspiration. Like he's such a big inspiration. So to hear, and again, this will also make me think like, no, like this is the Rock show. Like what does the Rock know about me? Like how would he even, know about what I'm doing? So like that's another reason why I kind of was like, question that direct message about joining his show.
Yeah. And I mean, that makes total sense. But then too, I mean, of course, like the authenticity that comes through and all the things that he puts out there, and then authentically looking for people who match that. And clearly, like you said, I mean, you saw yourself in him, what he was doing, the hustle and the grind from the time that he was a wrestler all the way through, becoming an actor, and this explosion of becoming so famous that he is now, and is still living that authentic life. But then too, like you said, you can just being a person going through your own life and having your own dreams and passions in the athletic world and in the DJ, being a DJ. It's amazing that you could be inspired by that too, and then continue on, and then again be able to walk through the door of opportunity of becoming a contestant on a show like the Titan Games.
Yeah, for sure.
Love that.
For sure. Yeah.
And so Kareem, now having this incredible experience under your belt, and I just wonder for you, what would you say is your definition of a Titan?
My definition of a Titan is someone who puts on for not only themselves but their community. They are the strong warrior, the force that helps out others in more than one way. So, while they are strong at heart, strong in athletic abilities, they also are, while they're strong in, athletic abilities, they are also strong in heart. And they show that and display that by putting on for others, helping others in numerous ways that, you can't, like, it's only, you can tell that it's authentic. Like, it's not anything that someone's paying you to do because this is what you're, paid to do. It's something their passion is doing that for them. And, I was around so many amazing people who have incredible stories, and like, they all have some sort of connection with their communities or some loved ones or people around them that they really help a lot. And it shows. And it like that, I think that was like the really common, denominator between everybody there at the show, is that everybody was there, because they are, one, authentic, and two, genuine, and had a passion to help others in some sort of way, which was incredible to be around. Like that energy itself was just like, man, it just, I love to be around that style of energy, that kind of energy where everyone's just have a passion, and it speaks for themselves. Like passion just speaks for themselves, and it's just, you could tell. And like just being around that energy was just unbelievable.
Yeah. I bet. I mean, talk about surrounding yourself with people who are going to boost you up and people that you can be inspired by, right? I mean, now you have having these incredible people in your corner like yourself. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
Love
all
that.
The way.
And so Kareem, knowing, I mean, you've accomplished truly so much in your life already, and knowing that you still have so much left to accomplish, and you're going to keep achieving these incredible goals that you have for yourself, I just have one final question that I ask all of my interviewees. What do you want to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered as the guy who was able to bring love and bring energy back into the world where, it's starting to become very distant and faded. I have a passion just to help any and everyone around me, especially the youth. And like, I just want to be remembered as that guy who who's been doing the work, who's been, not only can do the entertainment thing, but can help you on the health side too, and the health and wellness side too. Like, I want to put all of that together some way, somehow, and just like really get it out there to everyone, and just continue to help my peers and everyone around me just to grow with a lot of positivity. I think the world lacks it, and I think it's much needed these days. So I just want to continue to spread that positivity, spread that love, especially growing up from where I'm from, where it's not shown a lot. Like the love is kind of underlying, but I want to just put it out there. Like, hey, listen, like, I have all this love and I want to help you. I want to bring the help back to the community. I want to bring the help back to the schools and everybody that's around that's helped me become who I am. And I just want to kind of just return it to everyone. And then hopefully that gives a spark to everyone else to uplift their community as well too, because I just think that that's just needed, especially with times going on now. So I think just a lot of love and a lot of uplift, should, it can go a long way. Mm-hmm. So I just want to be that person just to help with that and to really take that to another level.
Thank you all for tuning in to today's installment of the Athletes of the Titan Games podcast. To learn more about each of these Titan athletes, be sure to check out their information in the links in my show notes. Furthermore, to stay up to date on all things coming out of the KMF Collective, be sure to subscribe to the Keep Moving Forward YouTube channel and follow along on social media, also available in the show notes. As the creator of the Titan Games, Mr. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson says, "Titans aren't born, they're made." And I hope today's story helped you realize all that you are capable of becoming if you put in that hard work and just keep moving forward.